Hi, this is Barrett Ristroff from Fairbanks, Alaska, and you're watching an excerpt from Climate Change Adaptation Strategies for and by Alaska Native Villages. Please check out my YouTube page for more video clips on this topic. I've talked a lot about strategies that directly affect the environment. The message I got from many villages is that adaptation needs to be holistic, not just taking care of flooding while forgetting about other problems. With that in mind, I want to talk about some of these other areas that can't be left behind when thinking about how to adapt. One concern is how to protect community health and well-being to make good decisions regarding adaptation and other challenges. As one tribal administrator in the interior said,
"We've got to address diabetes, addictions, and education, basically well-being. There is a need for wellness in the community and wellness training."
It can help to have a tribal court, counselors, and a public safety officer there in the community to address whatever problems come up. Local mentorships, instead of just outside trainers, can be a source of empowerment. Many have expressed the need for a more culturally based curriculum that would better retain students. One example could be the Learning Through Cultural Connections curriculum, which brings together Western science on Aurora Borealis with Inupiat culture and language. You can find their video on YouTube. Culture Camp is another source of what some are calling cultural capital, as is concerted efforts by elders and parents to pass down their knowledge and values. There are many ways in which families and individuals adapt on their own, especially when it comes to hunting and fishing. But there are some issues, like relocation, where families may want to act together as a community. It's easy for an outsider to say this, but for many reasons, it may not be so easy for the community to come together on a decision. Tribal leaders shared their thoughts with me on how to bring the community together and build what some people are calling social capital. One of the main things I heard was the benefit of having regular meetings, preferably with food. Chief Don Charlie from Nanana described the community's quarterly dinners.
"We call it community safety and village pride. People go there and they don't drink, they don't smoke. We have food and door prizes. All the entities are invited, the city, the school, the churches, the corporation, the tribe, and then we each give a report on what we're doing. We have it every 3 months. I think one of the reasons communities are bickering against each other is that they don't know what this part of town is doing. All they hear is rumors."
Elder Paul Williams from Beaver said,
"Eating together is where all of the good feeling and friendship and renewal of life come from. That's why we have potlatch."
Aside from shared meals, there may be other activities that build culture and spirituality, like culture camp and language learning. Paul Williams said,
"When you learn the native language, you're learning a lot of things that are intertwined with paying respect, because that's the right thing to do."
A community coordinator from the West Coast talked about the importance of the relationship between the tribe, city, and village corporation.
"When the 3 village entities get together, they are a powerful force."
Again, it's not easy. One tribal administrator from the interior made sense of it this way.
"Having so many different entities can be divisive, but it shouldn't be, because tribes and corporations play different roles. We should not be perpetuating the idea that corporations are against tribes."
Strong communities often have strong leaders. It's not easy to be a leader that can serve the needs within the community while also trying to attract attention and help from outside the community. It can be helpful to have regular elections, policies to guide conduct, and regularly rotate leadership positions so more people get a chance. Strong education and training are important to build up leaders. This doesn't just mean youth leadership programs sponsored by outside entities. It can also be something incorporated into culture camp. Let's be honest. Cultural capital and social capital are extremely important, but every person and community needs some sort of financial capital if they're going to adapt. So now I want to talk about how to get enough funding and economic security to support the community through hard times. Many village residents talked about the importance of promoting the local economy and local resource use, whether this is tourism, mariculture, resource development, a fish processing plant, or a locally owned store. Many community plans call for more job training. One area that could be highly beneficial is training in the disaster and emergency arena so villages can rebuild themselves from disasters. Another idea is to encourage community members to volunteer and swap services with each other rather than paying an outside source.
Several village community plans are considering the potential for roads to other villages and or the road system, which could allow for the intra-community exchange and reduce the cost of living. A community could also consider the potential for building winter ice roads in cooperation with developers.
Related to economic security is energy security. How many times have we heard of people worried about choosing between food and fuel? Climate change may reduce heating cost, but it may increase the risk of storms that could knock out power and delay shipment of fuel. Some villages are addressing this by partnering on renewable energy projects like wind turbines. Others are promoting energy efficiency and weatherizing. Villages like Tanana and Fort Yukon are using local biomass, which can employ local people to gather wood and reduce the risk of wildfire. Thanks to my musicians and participants, and thank you for watching. I hope you'll watch more of these video clips or check out my Google Drive for written strategies.